We are moving on to file item 143. Senator Wiener. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 79 by Senator Wiener, enact relating to land use.
Senator.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, I rise to present Senate Bill 79, which authorizes more housing near our highest quality, highest capacity public transportation stops, high-frequency rail, light rail, bus rapid transit that's physically separated, and ferries. I wanted to just state that we took a series of amendments in the Appropriations Committee on various subjects, including starting to really flesh out the local alternative option, where cities can prepare their own local version of this and have that apply instead, as well as making some clarifications around minimum affordability standards. We talk a lot when we talk about housing policy in this building about where we don't want to build housing. There's a lot of conversation, which is very important, about, for example, trying to de-emphasize development in wildfire zones, the highest severity zones, or other areas at risk of natural disasters. What we don't spend enough time talking about is where do we want to build more housing? I think most people agree in this body that we need more housing. And so where should we be emphasizing it? I can think of a bunch of different areas near high-quality jobs, on commercial corridors. But one of those areas is near not just public transportation, the very best public transportation, where we can have more housing and more people can actually walk to that public transportation instead of having to drive and have a huge parking lot, or just more likely not take it at all because it doesn't work. And we see that we do have systems in California that don't have a lot of housing around it, and they have low ridership as a result. And so the purpose of this bill is to say, let's focus more housing around the highest quality public transportation, where we have made significant public investments of tax dollars, and I support that investment. As you know, I fight for that investment. And if we're going to invest, as we should, in better and better public transportation, let's help it succeed. Because in addition to needing more housing and putting it near transit, it helps support the transit systems because it helps with ridership. And we see in cities that have the most successful ridership, it's because a lot of people live within walking distance of it, or if they are driving, a very short drive. And so this bill creates a standard within a half a mile, distinguishing between the first quarter mile and the second quarter mile around the highest quality transit to allow a minimum threshold of housing density. I do want to just acknowledge or address a few things. There's been discussion around affordability. This is a pro-affordable housing bill, and I want to explain why I say this. In addition to the affordability provisions, in addition to the affordability provisions in the bill relating to the state density bonus, existing affordability structure, or deferring to local cities affordability standards, which the bill does not in any way override a city's local affordability standards. We also know that low-density housing means no affordable housing, because you're not going to have affordable housing unless you have a certain level of multi-unit density. 100% affordable housing for lower income people, you're not going to build that unless you have a certain amount of density. And that's why the Nonprofit Housing Association of Northern California, one of the big umbrella affordable housing groups in California, has just endorsed this bill, because they know that it will allow for more affordable housing. In addition, multi-unit triggers local affordability requirements that are not triggered by low density. So this bill will lead to more affordable housing in California. So, colleagues, this is a bill that will help on housing. It is a bill that will help on support of public transportation systems. It is a bill that defers significantly to local communities, respecting local demolition controls and putting demolition controls in place if the streamlining option is used. It defers to local design standards and in some places defers to local height limits. I do just want to also say that this bill, we continue to work on it. We made significant amendments, as I mentioned, in Appropriations Committee, based directly on feedback from the members in the two committees that saw it. We kept a running list of all feedback that members had, and we made a slew of amendments based directly on that feedback. We continue to work with colleagues and with stakeholders, and I'm confident that if the bill proceeds today, we'll continue to do that work in the Assembly, particularly on the local alternative option, which I think is very important, and is very important to me, to give cities additional flexibility to say, we understand what you're trying to do, we want to do it in a somewhat different way. Cities should have that ability. We have that in the bill now. I know we can make it even better, and I'm committed to doing that work. So colleagues, this is a good bill. It deserves your support. I ask you for the ability to continue to do this work, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.